You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You're now tuned into the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7. The entire crew is here. We got the new setup in play. Shout out to my man Lonegevity for putting that together. Sorry, we was doing a little final countdown before we got started there. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Starting at the end of the table, my man Jay Moore. How are you, sir?
Blessed and highly vaccinated.
Gonna just take a sip out the mug after you say that, huh?
Yeah.
With your face on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Face.
Okay. Good to see you, brother. My man Lonegevity. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. We're kind of close. I don't know how.
Yeah, this is still a little different. It's all right though. It's all right. I ain't gonna bother you.
Yeah. I'm doing okay. I hope everything like works tonight.
Yes.
So we don't have a ton of like edits after the fact.
Shout out to Riri.
But yeah, just the babies.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of that, Jay Diff, how you doing, brother?
Salutations.
How's everything?
I'm good.
Gotcha.
Riri out here, huh?
She out here. Shout out to ASAP, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
ASAP is the MVP of this year, sir. ASAP is the MVP of this year.
There's still a lot of year to go.
Well, out the gate, he winning right now the most from what I see until further notified. My man Red August is in the building doing his thing. We appreciate you as always.
We're gonna
sir.
get the mic set up too for next week.
We don't have to, but man,
I mean,
I wouldn't like that, but it ain't about me. Shout out to the chat. The chat is live. We may have even named a new moderator. I don't know. It depends on if they want to wear their badge or not. We'll talk about that later.
Let me see if I can do this here.
Let's go ahead and get into this. Is weird. I gotta get used to. Oh, was that? Yeah,
No, we're good. Yeah.
I gotta get used to this new setup, man. This is different. I like it though. I'm seeing y'all from different angles now. Me and Jay Diff at the kids table. It's cool though. You know.
Technically, we still have the kids table too. We just got an overlay.
Oh, did that make you feel better?
I didn't feel any kind of way about it. I was just making jokes.
I feel you. Either way, though, I like the setup, man. This is dope. Let's go ahead and jump into the rundown and got a random topic. We talked about old Joey last week, Rogan, but he's been back in the news. Some things popped up.
Has he? I haven't heard anything.
And seems like he's been saying a couple things, or people have found some recordings, or there's a montage floating around of him using some words that I don't think he necessarily should have been using.
Some expletives.
We on the radio.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about this, man? Is this a witch hunt? Are people just trying to come after him at this point and just snowball this thing? Or, how do you guys feel about it? Jay Diff, I'm gonna come to you first. What you think about Rogan and the expletive situation?
Well, what do I feel about Rogan and the expletive situation?
Yeah,
expletive slurs, whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I only got so much I can.
I mean,
you know what I mean, though.
You talking about him using the N-word?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that sounds better than expletive. Go ahead.
Wish you hadn't counted me first, but
you want me to?
Nah, it's cool. It's here now.
All right.
We're here now. There's nothing to fear now.
I don't know, man. It's obviously some stuff he shouldn't have did.
With that,
he took initiative to take it on the chin, so to speak, but still, that doesn't necessarily excuse you for saying it because you knew it was wrong when you said it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's just weird that these type of things come to light when other people have a specific agenda. So I think they were trying to nail him to the cross based off the COVID podcasts, features or whatnot. That didn't work. Now we have this. I'm not a huge fan of Joe Rogan anyway, and it's not like it was a big secret that he's been doing this type of commentary over the years. It's just a matter of if you were actually paying attention to it or you were a fan of the show. I don't watch his show like that. Like I might catch one or two here and there. So I wasn't privy to what was going on. And I know one of the episodes he talked about, he actually tried to bury himself because he was like, he knew it wasn't right. The one where he talked about going to the movies and
Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
He was saying that the way they cut the montage up wasn't what he was saying. And I actually what's crazy about this situation is I actually had an experience similar to this, as far as somebody not understanding that regardless of the context that you say that word in, you still shouldn't say it, whether you meant it in a malicious way or not.
That's
it's
real. Technically
the only privilege that black people have is to keep saying that word. It's our only privilege. So let us have that privilege.
Because you're not going to give us no other one.
Yeah, because we ain't going to get nothing else.
Would you say at least give us that one?
At least give us that one. But regardless of how you cut it, I hate how people always want to point the finger somewhere else whenever these type of situations come up.
Exactly.
As far as, well, this person says it or they say it in this type of music and blah, blah, blah. First of all, this has no bearing on what somebody else is saying or doing. Hip hop is not the end all be all of every situation that happens in America. You can't keep pointing the fingers back to that and say that this is where it lies at. Why can they do it? Because you can't.
It's going to come up every time.
And this is in reference to the word being used in hip hop music and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right. But I mean,
by black artists.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, it's the only privilege that we have. I'm still waiting on my 40 acres and a mule. I want that privilege too. But anyway,
it was Lyndon B. Johnson's fault.
Yeah. Somebody.
Thank you.
Not really, but we won't get into that.
Well, I mean,
That's
technically,
part of why they shot Lincoln. But we're not going to do that now.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do
But
I watched a very insightful video about that today.
that. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it gets
so.
deep.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just leave it at that and let y'all have the floor on it.
I could dig that. Good take. Long, jump in there, man. What you think?
Yeah,
I
what
mean-
do you think?
Yeah.
brother. What do you think?
Let me tell you my
brother?
white perspective.
Everybody
all right?
back up and be quiet while he talks.
Thank you. Give me my privilege,
Yeah,
okay?
take the privilege. You got it.
No, I agree, obviously, with what Terry's saying. It's not really my place to speak on if the word is good or not. You know what I mean?
I can dig it. Yeah.
So the only thing that I can kind of speak on in general is like watching Joe Rogan and how he moves through it, and kind of relating my own personal past and my own path towards understanding race better as somebody who grew up in the Midwest in a small town where it was something that I had to grow and learn more about throughout time.
Yeah.
So I understand my path, and I look at Joe Rogan, and when I watched his apology, I genuinely thought, oh, this is actually a real apology. Was the whole, even in his apology, he screwed up, right? He even said, I think you said in the pre-show, or even before we were on, you're like, he even like when he said the Planet of the Apes comments, right after he said them, he was like, oh, that's racist.
That's racist. Yep.
But in his apology, he was like, well, I didn't mean it as being racist.
You already said it,
It doesn't
brother.
matter.
Yeah, you already said it.
And
Yeah.
granted, that's an 11-year-old clip that he had already pulled off of all platforms. Like, he deleted it. Somebody just randomly found a clip of it. So he had acknowledged that already. You know, it's not the same, but it kind of makes me think of a little bit of like the Kevin Hart situation and stuff where he had to re-apologize for stuff to some extent. Obviously it's different. Obviously it's different. And you know, they concatenized and put all his use of the N-word together, and him. I'll say this: I understand where he was coming from as far as like it is a unique thing. When he said that it's a unique thing that there's like this one word that we can't say, it is an interesting phenomenon. I will agree with that. But because there is no other word that we really can't say in the English language. And it's a unique thing to come from a place of privilege to where you're not used to having something that you can't do. And then all of a sudden there's like something that you can't do and you don't fully understand. Like you get it, but you don't at the same time. Now I'm irrelevant. I've never said the word,
Right.
even though I've been coaxed to say the word
Oh yeah.
by black friends.
Yes. Yeah.
Just say it.
Yeah.
You're okay. You
Never
can
take
pass.
the bait. Never take
And
the
I was
bait.
like-
Please don't take the bait.
And I was like, no, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
And so without even knowing, I kind of passed my own test.
You smart.
No, that was lucky. But it's, but at the same time, like, I feel like the context, what I liked about his apology was that we kind of talked about this last week on the COVID stuff a little bit and his apology there. I just appreciate the fact, all things aside, I appreciate the fact that he at least addressed it. I don't really think he had to. Maybe he did. I know they're pulling his episodes and stuff, but like,
Are they?
They,
they've
I
at
think
least
they
70.
dropped like 70 to 100 episodes of his.
Oh, well, he still got money.
Yeah, he's got plenty of money. Like he still doesn't.
Oh, he's still going to get the $100 million.
got the paper. I don't care what.
like he doesn't really have to, I think, at this point. But I can appreciate it, and I do when I look at him from my white lens. I see somebody who seems like he's learning from things. Even the fact that he came out and said he's like, no, there's actually no. When he said there's no good way to say, there's no context for saying this word as a white
That would
person.
be appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before, that was really his entire argument for saying it in the past at all. So he acknowledged that in his apology, that part. So to me, I'm like, all right, he acknowledged the part that, to me, from my perspective, again, just a white perspective, I'm like, okay. So I'm like, he's growing, and hopefully white people see him and see what he's taking accountability for, and they're like, okay, well, maybe I should relook at this. So that's how I view it. But, you know, if you guys are upset, or anybody that's upset that this actually affects, because it doesn't really affect me in that direct type of way.
Right.
I mean, that's you guys' prerogative, right? So I can only speak on like that, you know.
Of course, yeah.
The only caveat out of this, or silver lining, so to speak, is Spotify is donating $100 million.
I saw that, but I couldn't find an article on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need
I didn't
we
hear
need to
that.
follow the money on that, because you can say a lot of things.
Right.
They said
That's
they're
what they're saying.
donating?
They're saying
After
that they're not
George
gonna
Floyd, a
back
lot of
off.
companies said a lot of things.
Yeah, they're saying they're not gonna take the money back from Joe Rogan. What they're gonna do to try to counteract what's going on is donate $100 million to certain charities. No, like y'all said, it's all talk at this point. It's all in the action. So
Maybe they should
that remains
donate
to be seen.
donate it to black podcasters. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should just take that money and, I don't know, give it to the artists that keep their entire platform afloat.
Both would be fine for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer. Yeah.
Yeah, new old heads could use some of that.
Yeah,
money.
we are a
little bit of that.
predominantly black podcast.
Yeah, throw us a little bit of that. Yeah, we appreciate it. All right, Jay Moore, what you think, man?
Well, I think, you guys have hit the nail right on the head. But, we go through this. It seems like, every 2 or 3 years with somebody white who just gets real familiar. I think it was like maybe the first episode where I guested on. We talked about Bill Maher thinking he could pop fly with the word.
That's right.
And he really thought he got off of funny. And, he didn't. And it didn't work out for him. We can go back to Don Imus. He didn't say the word, but what he said was pretty much just as inflammatory and just as racist.
Yeah, that was trash.
But the thing is, every time one of these things happen, and Jay Diff touched on this a little bit, all of a sudden, instead of having a conversation about the white person who did something wrong, people are like, well, what about these rappers and all? Like, hip hop is always the scapegoat. And what you'll compare, whatever white person slipped up and did what they weren't supposed to do, and you'll turn it back on hip hop. And now we have that conversation. It never made, like, I already had my issues with Oprah. It is what it is. But I'll just never forget when Don Imus said what he said.
Yeah.
It went from us castigating him and letting him know, hey, you're wrong, to all of a sudden all these rappers had to come on Oprah and say, I'm sorry, and hey, we need to have this conversation. I was like, wait a minute, we're not done with Buddy over here.
No.
Facts.
All right. We can get to that later. And we have those conversations offline all the time.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, we cannot hold a white person accountable without also deciding that we're going to we're gonna dirty up hip hop's name,
Right.
Without it's like we can't just do the one thing. Just like there are people who are like, oh, well, what about the artists at the Super Bowl this week? They all say that word. Wait a minute, can we talk?
Eminem doesn't.
Can we? Yeah, exactly. Eminem is smart enough not to do it on any of his records.
Yeah.
He got caught up in some stuff, with the Source magazine. But as soon as he came, he was like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. This is not the way to move
At all.
So there have been too many examples of white people who've gotten caught. And the thing is, sometimes we do have to dig deeper because, and I'm here to spit fire today. Somebody like Tucker Carlson, I've never heard him say the word, but I know how he feels because he knows how to move and shake and use the dog whistles to let us know exactly where he's coming from, especially when he talks about anything involving black people.
Yeah.
So
You know what those
We have to-
dinners look like
yeah, so
and sound like.
we have to go ahead and have these real conversations.
Say dinners.
Yeah, the dinners that he has with his friends and colleagues.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I really know what they sound like if you ever want to ask.
but it really is a thing to where, okay, if we're gonna take on this racism thing, we a lot of people think, okay, well, I don't say the N-word, so I'm not racist. I'd be like, no, I see how you move and shake out here. You're definitely racist.
Yeah, your actions.
You know,
your actions
That is
will take care of
definitely
that.
my argument across the board.
and plus with Joe Rogan, and like I said, some of these clips are so old, it look like they were shot on VHS. Like, I don't know
They were.
where
They were
some of
mad
this
old.
stuff
Some of
is
them
coming
were.
from.
Stuff is mad old.
And the thing is, I've seen and heard this montage before. It's like for artists, not artists or comedians or podcasters, whatever, whenever they want to slander you and get you out of the paint, it's like, hey, let's bring this up again. I mean, they every few years they bring up the same thing with Charlemagne the God. Let's get him out of here, and it never works. But it's like that's what they do to certain people who they just want to get out of the paint whenever they say something that maybe they don't disagree with. But I will say this has been these past couple of weeks, or week or so, it's been a real thing where we've had to look. If you look at what happened to Joe Rogan, he's been able to make his apologies, still keep doing his podcast, say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it this way. And people will be like, okay, we get it. Whoopi Goldberg had to take 2 weeks off of work.
Man.
And she
Don't get me
apologized
started, bro.
immediately. So here is a black woman, last name Goldberg, who identifies as Jewish, who you know, sometimes you just got to keep your mouth shut if you don't know how to answer
In
the
Black History Month.
Yeah, during Black History
Talk
Month.
to 'em.
And sometimes you have to keep your mouth shut if you can't answer the follow-up questions. That's why some people ask me about certain things. I'll be like, look, I don't have all the information.
Wait, she's got if I'm not mistaken, I heard you say she had to take 2 weeks, right? It was
no, yes, they gave
2
her
weeks off.
gave her 2 weeks.
But she came out the gate with
An apology, and said, okay, this is where I got it wrong.
Yeah.
She had the same apologetic spirit as Joe Rogan, but she's got to sit down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we got to look at how
that's tough.
How,
That's true.
How so many people wind up having to navigate these media spaces and how they're treated, even if they say I'm sorry. Because honestly, Joe Rogan could have been like, it is what it is, man. I got my $100, $100 million rather. If it was $100 and you doing all this, then you're doing a lot.
Man.
But he got his $100 million. They're not going to take it back from him.
Might have been
And
more sincere if it was
if it was
$100.
$100,
the
you know.
apology would have been, it had music behind it and everything. If it was
You know, since he he could have doubled down, because a lot of like I said, a lot of his fans, when you look at his, you know, his social media, they're like, hey, we're with you, man. It's okay. And it looks like a bunch of people that went to the Capitol on January 6th.
Go ahead, Long.
I was just gonna say, like, no, to his point, like, you know, like, I think we have to kind of I try to appreciate things for what they are. Like, there's only so much that Joe Rogan can actually do too.
Yep.
At this point. Like, we have to, I personally feel like in any type of situation, I'm not even talking about like people getting caught up in race related stuff and all that other stuff. Like, we have to allow people the ability to grow from things that they mess up on.
Right.
Because if we don't, then what are we doing? Like, because we all have things that we have screwed up on.
Look, I'll say this for Joe Rogan, for Whoopi Goldberg, for anybody. I don't want any of you in these, especially because everybody thinks they can just say some wild stuff, and because a lot of people they're doing it for the clicks, they're doing it for whatever.
Yeah.
Some people really get caught out saying just stuff that they didn't really mean and they just said it wrong. I don't want anybody, especially doing what we do, to be defined by your worst moment. Because if we're going to do that, then there's a lot of people we got to get out the paint.
I'm perfectly fine airing out some of the stuff that I've done in the past, but I'm not going to. You're going to have to search it up and cancel it. Because that's
Wait till you run for office, it'll all come out.
Yeah, we're going to have a VHS tape alone saying some stuff.
I feel like if that would happen, then they could search and they can bring it up and they can blow the new old heads up more. It's just going to help the podcast in the long run. I mean,
Look,
I can step down. We can bring somebody else on. It's all good.
I'm just glad there's no Instagram video during the OMG days at the 𝐀𝐿𝐲.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years and 20 years ago. I mean, it's crazy. Like, the culture's changed. You know, the acceptability of stuff and
of a lot of stuff.
It's just, that's what I mean, across the board. So like stuff that I mean,
watch any movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like there's stuff that I know.
A lot of stuff.
There's stuff that I know better now that back then I didn't really even know better.
I know stuff that was going on in high school.
Man.
That I'm pretty sure it's probably still going on to this day in some areas, but I mean, the things that you could get away with back in the late 90s and early 2000s.
It was a different era, man.
And it doesn't even seem like it was that long ago.
So
when you put it in context, it's crazy because we're saying it doesn't feel that long ago. So imagine our parents who came up during the civil rights movement and things like that.
Yeah.
They're reflecting back those same amount of years that we're doing right now. So that just shows how far or how close even that we are to when that was even going on, which is crazy.
Yeah. The only thing that I would continue to say is like, what I've seen across the board too with the whoopee stuff too.
Yeah.
Is I've seen a lot of like random anti-Semitism, which is not cool either. Like, like just because there's one bad doesn't mean that you can go and say some other bad stuff about some stuff.
Well, you know, that's
100%.
because sometimes because
like, oh yeah, you're fat.
when people, you know, a lot of people have been emboldened by Joe Rogan, and they don't want him to change. They hear the things that he says is like, yeah, more of that.
Bro,
it gives them power and energy.
Yeah,
I saw a very weird clip today of it was like March 2020ish where Joe Rogan had on a doctor talking about vaccinations, and Joe Rogan was 100% like, why are people so afraid of vaccinations? They've saved so much. It was
weird.
So
I saw
wild. It was so wild because it's completely anti.
It was he had a pro-vaccination stand. It was really weird.
So I
didn't see that.
The interesting thing about Rogan, which I can kind of appreciate, and then we can move on or whatever, but he is kind of a sponge, man. Like whoever he has in front of him, he does kind of just talk to people. And he's at least open enough to have like different opinions and stuff. And I can appreciate that because that's how I try to be. Like I try to be as open as possible and try not to be as stuck in my ways, because I remember what it's like to be stuck in your ways and then years later find out that you're like on some foul stuff. Like
Self-awareness.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, just like there are things that if you asked me about 20 years ago, I'd have had some disturbing things to tell you.
Man, listen.
Would have sounded a little different, huh?
You wouldn't have had me on this podcast. You believe that?
but we're great people now.
Yeah, 100%. No flaws.
We are perfect.
Yeah, zero flaws.
Man, if I could just explain how perfect we are.
Man.
Yeah. Well, I know it was some rough
like
time.
a Disney movie.
Yeah, it's just, man, like a diverse one.
Yeah. We don't talk about Bruno. For those that picked up on that,
I see what you did
Disney
there.
movie.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Well,
all right, man. Let's shout out to the chat. We see y'all. Let's go ahead and jump into this next topic. Yesterday was Jay Dilla's birthday. Rest in peace to one of the goats.
To the goat.
Okay.
Oh, I said it.
Yeah. Talk to him. Let's say it with your chest then if you're going to say it.
I did.
All right.
If that's your goat, that's your goat.
If that's your goat, that's your goat.
Goats are just general term at this
I
point.
mean, goats running herds.
I like
Do they?
that.
I think they're kind of solitary creatures.
I don't know.
I don't know,
The ones
man.
that live on mountains and they're just hanging off the side of the mountains.
No, man.
You can't be in a herd when you're just
those are
stop.
rams.
Yeah, those are.
We're not
rams.
talking about those. We're just talking about
they could be goats.
No,
You know what's wild?
They're called mountain goats.
no,
right?
we're not talking about
LL
mountain
Cool
goats.
J's
I
album
am.
called Goat.
Oh,
That's
God.
probably one of his worst albums.
The worst album.
What
he
Wait,
messed up
wait.
when he called it goat.
Hold on,
How come every week? How come every week?
Huh?
I am reaffirmed by the fact that LL Cool J and animals are synonymous.
Hey,
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Wait,
How does
Hold
like
on.
sharks
With a
feel?
panther.
what was the single for Goat? Real quick. What was the single for Goat?
The single actually wasn't bad, but
Which
I can't
one?
remember
No,
what
yeah, it was bad.
Was that?
No, it wasn't. The
no, it
single?
wasn't. It was
You don't even know.
I don't remember what it was.
Don't do that.
But I know it couldn't have been that bad because I
No.
bought the album.
I remember. No, because it was LL Cool J. And you thought he had just come off of, I think, Phenomenon, maybe.
I have to pull this up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
imagine that.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's
we gotta be.
Anybody listen? You haven't listened to Imagine That since the album came out.
I haven't. I don't even remember what it sounds like.
Never mind. I was about to try.
All right,
to
let's
go
get
on-
back into
Yeah, I was
Dilla.
about to try to go on the run, but I don't know what Imagine. Sorry, LL.
Let's talk about some good
It's
music.
funny because Red August has his hat to the back like
Yeah, he think he.
LL Cool J.
Yeah, he-
I needed some sweatpants with his leg rolled up and some Timbs.
He
and
think he in the
he'd be
Love You
there.
Better video right now.
JT Smith.
But nah, man, there was a list of that came out to be 17 of Dilla's best beats. You know, we talked about Primo last week. Shout out to Poppy, I'm on as well. I saw him on Twitter. He listed some that on the spot I forgot about that actually were dope
Dilla's
from
best
Primo.
beats.
But they got 17 Lone. Now you just said that you uploaded on Bring Down the Band like 6 hours of Dilla, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was. So I finally unleashed it. I've had a lot of unreleased Dilla stuff for a very long time,
Yep.
and I unleashed all of it in there. I didn't name any of it because a lot of it was just like beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, stuff like that. But I'll drop a link in the chat for y'all.
Speaking of Dilla, also Lone made a good point about the snippet that Busta Rhymes played of a Dilla beat It's probably going to be on his next album. I'm assuming he's giving us samples of what his next album is going to sound like. And it sounded dope from what I heard. It was really good. And I hadn't heard that joint before. I hadn't heard that beat.
I haven't heard that beat either.
Yeah, so Busta and Dilla, you can't go wrong with that. You know, that was his homie. So I'm excited about that.
We talked about being excited about projects a couple weeks ago. I'm getting there. I'm getting there
with the Busta.
I mean,
the two snippets got me pointing in that direction. Yeah, that's fair.
I love Busta's last record.
Yeah,
I last record was really good.
Yeah.
I know some people that don't, but I ain't gonna go down that road.
Don't like that album?
Yeah, but I ain't gonna go down that road.
Yeah, well, let's not bring them up.
Well, they're not people that we care about right now.
All right, man. So I'm going 17-1, and I think it's fair to say that we know these joints.
We might.
We might. Welcome to Detroit. That's a jam to me.
You know what? I don't even.
You don't
know
remember
what it
that?
Sounds like. If I heard it, I know I would know it immediately. But I'm so bad with names.
Yeah, track names get me too a little bit.
Does that get you?
That's the kind of what happens I mean, even though that was before the super digital era, now I don't know the names of songs.
You remember the Players beat?
Oh yeah,
That's cold. Yeah,
I can hear it in my head.
It's actually he's actually saying the name Claire, but
yeah,
well, I mean, you know.
But hey,
since you trying to be all special, then I'm sorry. Don't sip. I hate when you sip.
Here's what I can say to that. I can say to that. I've made beats intentionally where it sounded like something else, and I made the beat name what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, you hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, 100%.
There was actually a video circulating that would play. It would show a word, and whatever word it showed is what you would hear, and it would keep switching. It was like, that's crazy.
That sound fancy. All right, man. 15 is a light. We know that one. One of my favorite beats.
Yeah.
Classic album, by the way. Like
It's not one of my favorite beats, though.
Not
I like
by
that
him.
beat. I like that beat, man.
It's a great
I
beat,
like that.
but
I think it fits the project and all that stuff, but it's not one of my favorite Dilla beats.
Do you think that's it's a little high to be in the top 17?
Not necessarily, but maybe.
All right. Let's Ride, Q-Tip, banger.
Good track.
Good track.
Co-production.
like it.
We know that one. You know that one.
That's not fully produced on. I think that's co-produced by Q-Tip,
I might have to search that, but you might be right.
Drop. Ooh wee.
Drop by the Far Side.
which is co-produced by. I got all the Dilla nods here. That's co-produced by.
They gonna hate you on TikTok.
What's his name? Rest in peace to D12 member Proof.
Proof, yeah.
Proof actually flipped the sample backwards originally.
You remember the video?
Yeah,
The video
was
was
reversed.
crazy.
It was
Yeah.
reversed.
Yeah,
but
the video was crazy.
Denon Porter tells a great story on that on his Rhythm Roulette.
Another criminally slept on.
Yep.
BBE Big Booty Express, number 12. Now you got me on this one. I'd have to hear it. I'm getting
I know
old.
what it is, but
I
I've
know
heard
it, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't pull it.
I can't pull it up.
Yeah.
I know it slapped though. Didn't you know Erykah Badu?
Ooh,
Wow.
yeah, that was crazy.
There's a
Yeah.
crazy
I still
story
listen.
behind that too.
And it was,
Talk to me then.
What's crazy is like that was on the radio heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that whole album, Mama's Gun.
Mama's Gun.
Crazy.
Is cold.
Top to bottom though.
It's probably her top 3
Yeah,
album.
that's her best album.
I think it's her
Best?
best album. I think it's her best
I think
album.
it's top 3. Not 3, but top 3.
Give me that knowledge, Lone, on Didn't You Know?
So Dilla was notorious for you had to come to Detroit to work with him.
Mm.
And so Erykah went to Detroit to work with. I believe I read this in like this. It was released like a decade ago. I think 𝗀𝗲𝗄 𝗀𝗲 shared this. I could be wrong. I don't know. This is like knowledge from a decade ago. But the story goes, she's in the studio, pulls a random record or the record right, drops the needle on it, and that's the song.
Oh, okay.
And he made a beat off of that like that, and that became Didn't You Know?
That song still gives me chills when I
It's
hear
great.
it.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah, that's her album to me, in my opinion.
Didn't you know?
Oh yeah, I know Lone know this one. Thelonious.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's hard.
Well, if you ever seen the name Lonegevity, that's where it derives from. So
I remember that beat is cold. Find a way.
That's hard.
Tribe.
too.
That's hard.
you know Thelonious though. I think what makes Thelonious dope, not to go too far, but Thelonious, the song itself makes it dope because of Dilla singing on it too. The beat
And
itself,
he rhymed on it.
yeah, and he's dope on it.
The beat cold.
But the part that, because his type of singing on that beat was almost like a melodic element that was kind of a part of the beat. He's like, you know, like he's singing on it. Otherwise, without that singing, I don't think that would be up there for me though.
It's the vibe.
It's the
vibe.
vibe. It's the vibe of the whole song.
Yeah.
Find a Way is cold.
Yeah.
That beat is, now this is the album that Tribe has always talked about when they knew it was pretty much a wrap.
Well, it's
you know?
crazy because when you bring up "Find a Way," because that was the single from that album.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that first. It made me very excited for that album. And I'm not saying that album was bad.
It wasn't cold
But-
though.
Leading in with "Find a Way"
Yeah.
might not have been the best idea for that because "Find a Way" is so good to me.
I
Personally,
mean, it
for that
almost
album.
kind of sent you off because it was
How
like,
does it go? I can't place it right now. What is Find a Way?
speaking of which, I'm trying to remember the verse. Got at least, I'm so old. I gotta, you know it when you hear it. Yeah.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cold, man. That's
Why you
cold.
want to
come
go and
my
do
way?
that?
Shout out to Fife too. Fife got
I don't
busy.
think
on
that would be up there for me.
Me neither.
I like that one, man.
If
That
it's the
slap.
beat I'm thinking of, was there multiple
song was
versions of
jamming.
this?
Yeah,
Was there
that
multiple-
song.
No, that was the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, that
that
song
was
jam.
jamming.
That one jam to me. I'm with Terry on that one. That,
That
one
was
jam.
jamming. We're
So,
talking about 17 Dilla joints though.
yeah, it's just So far to go, slap,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
slap.
Yeah. EMC squared better be on here.
We gonna find out. That Shining got heat. As a
Yeah.
matter
Oh
of fact,
yeah.
y'all want to do some homework. Get this money,
All
man.
day. All day.
Tough.
Get
No need to
this
even.
money.
Yeah, don't even
Hey,
need to.
hey, that one?
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
Now this J-Lib, I don't know if a lot of people
J-Lib's
listen
got
to
some
J-Lib. J-Lib got heat. They got the red as number 6.
I like that, but
A little high.
There's two versions of the red, and I always get them confused. So the way so for those that don't know, with J-Lib, Madlib produced the ones that Dilla rapped on,
Mm-hmm.
and Dilla produced the ones Madlib rapped on. And they actually remixed that one, and I don't know which one's which.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all soak up this Dilla game that Lone is providing right now because he really dropping
Yeah,
jewels.
Dilla
low-key.
historian.
Yeah, the red is cold though, but I'm guessing it's the one that I think is.
I like them
cold.
both. I like them both,
Yeah.
though. But
yeah, there's one in my mind though that I'm thinking that's like that's that one. Working on it. I know this from.
working on it. That's
Oh,
that's
man.
not in there.
No,
No,
Definitely not top 5.
it's great. It's a great beat.
I
Like
got it at 5.
you have it a little high.
that's 5.
Yeah, that's
They got
5.
it at 5. Yeah,
Who made this list?
this 1 through 4 is going to be
this is okay
nasty.
player. Shout out to the
But
good
who
folks.
made
at
it?
Okay player.
What's the name of it?
Let me find the writer.
Let me find this writer's
let's see.
name.
So we got Danny Schwartz.
Okay, Danny. All right, Danny. It's a great beat, but from as a producer's perspective,
A little high for you.
it's a little high.
Yeah, that's
Well, we're
high.
gonna keep going.
That's high. That's
Oh,
definitely
didn't
high.
you know? Come on now.
And I'm not a producer, and that's high.
Fall in love.
I mean, that's cold.
That's cold.
Again, it goes to the Felonious thing. It's a vibe.
It is. It's
That's
definitely
a vibe.
Like, because the beat itself is cool. It's got a great vibe.
You
but
know that. You know very well that you
Oh,
can
yeah.
slide that in anytime. You
Anytime.
DJing, and it's
That's
gonna go.
gonna work.
I don't care where you at, right?
They
Is
don't
that fair to
even,
say?
they don't even have to be hip to Dilla or Slum
Exactly.
Village, and it's gonna work.
Yeah, I'm
I
about to
think-
say, I know you know.
I think I can predict at least 2 that are going to be in the top.
All right, so we only got 3 left.
It's got to be Won't Do's probably going to be in there just off of GP.
We'll
number-
see.
And then
We'll see what Schwartz has.
Schwartz-
has-
Schwartz-
and MC Square's got to be in there.
We'll see.
You hope. Number
Yeah.
3 is Stakes is High.
Yeah, okay,
That beat
all
is
right.
cold.
Yeah,
I can- yeah.
can't front on that.
Yeah,
There's so many Dilla beats, man.
That
That's
beat
right.
is cold.
I'm sorry. You could easily come up with just 17 other songs. And it
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense.
yeah.
Look,
Last-
there's only 2, and Last Donut
Last
of the Night.
Donut
is
of the
number
Night is number 2.
Last Donut of the Night. That's
Yeah.
just nostalgia, though.
It
that's,
is.
That's just the
It is.
feeling of what it meant. You know what I mean?
That mug.
Yep.
Running. The Far Side is number 1.
And they
I love that beat. I'm sorry.
I love the beat, but I wouldn't put it as his number 1 beat.
come on, man.
I'm like, where's Baby
That
with
beat
Guilty? Where's with Guilty Simpson? I love that. I'm sorry. That could just be personal with
What
me.
about the joint that he
You supposed to
chopped
go
with
up another
Elzai in
octave,
it?
though.
What was that Elzai joint that he chopped? Like,
Love It Here.
yes,
Love
like,
It Here. That beat is cold.
We need producers to make this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
What
you're
about
if you're a producer and you are in
What's
the
a comment joint? Well, nah, that probably
Hold on.
wouldn't make the list.
Wait a minute. But how did you ain't got enough? I ain't never. What was it? Menage a Trois.
see now we gonna go
Yeah,
back to the
I-
Primo
I
stuff
know what you're
again.
talking
I know
about.
what you're talking
I know
about.
what
off
you're
of
talking about.
Fantastic Voyage 2.
Hey, but producers, DJs, man,
Knock
if you,
Chopper.
Raise it up.
Knock
Where's
Chopper.
Raise It Up?
Bum,
Raise it
bum,
up.
bum,
Knock
bum,
Chopper
bum,
ain't
bum.
on here.
Knock Chopper is cold. If you in the comments though, producers, DJs, let us know what they forgot because Love It Here is cold.
Oh yeah.
That beat is cold.
Yeah, the chops on that are amazing.
And Elzai murdered that joint. So there's probably some-
Gobstopper is amazing. Bum, 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 ba-da, bum,
Oh,
bum,
yeah.
bum. Waves.
I thought MC Square would be on there. man. August, get him, man. Over here singing these samples, man.
Hey, the ones that they had on like the top. I mean, I know it's all subjective. I'm not even mad at it because it's so hard to think. But like, he's got so many good beats, man. He's got so many good ones. We haven't even mentioned any Busta Rhymes beats.
That's crazy.
Like Genesis.
I thought MC² would be. I thought that would be. I hadn't looked at it. We're just
MC² is undoubtedly top 5.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be on there. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these could be worked around, and some of them are a little high. I love running myself. I mean, I'm with y'all. It might not be number one.
No way that it's number one.
But, I mean, and this is when he was still JD.
But I think
we're talking about Dilla.
I think they talking about running as a beat and a record. That's a dope song all the way through.
It's very dope. See, that's the thing about these songs on here. Dilla possessed a vibe that would pretty much give these tracks more energy.
You can make make a case, Terry. You can make a case that Running might be one of the top 3 songs that's named on this list as a record. Didn't you know? Running, and I had to go back to the list for the songs that was on Like Water for Chocolate. But Running as a song,
oh man, we didn't even mention
that mug is.
We only mentioned Thelonious off Like Water for Chocolate.
Yeah, I believe that was
it.
That was it.
Nothing off he's got some Electric Circus joints on there too.
Yeah.
But
I ain't even think about that.
Who produced the _KOMENT joint? Was that a Dilla joint? I can't remember. Yeah.
Yep, that was Dilla.
That was
married. Was it married?
That was on.
No, How Different Could Love Could Be.
That's on B.
Yeah. That's
Love
a Dilla
Is.
joint,
Love
right?
Is.
Yeah, Love Is.
Yeah.
I mean, he did It's Your World on B.
Yeah.
That's
oh my
cold.
God.
That ride out.
Mm.
I got some. There's a really dope joint.
Erykah Badu, didn't he do Telephone? Ain't that a
I gotta look that up.
beat for him?
I don't want to say the wrong thing. We had to look that up because don't get me lying.
But was that just an ode to Dilla, so to speak?
Might have been.
I think Lone pulling that one up.
Yeah.
But no, It's Your World at the end of B.
Man,
The kids talking.
man,
and everything.
B was so cold, man.
That's well, I'll never use perfect.
No,
There's
Zach
no
Okay.
There's not a hole in that album where I'm
There's no
out of 11 records. There's no holes in that album
From
to me.
beginning to end.
Yeah, him and Kanye locked in on that.
That's what people talk about when they say they missed the old Kanye.
I do. Like he was in his bag on that one. No questions asked.
History by Mostly Talib. Forgot about that one.
Oh, you got another list?
History. Yeah, Reunion.
Oh, that song's cold. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Complex as a top 50 list.
You named
Dollar Circulate.
Oh, wow.
My goodness.
Come on now.
See, this list has Lightworks as 46, which is, I think, a little bit more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
You said they got 50 joints?
Yeah, let's see what else we got here. 47 is featuring Fat Cat, the D, JD, aka J Dilla.
I bet MC² on this list.
I'm sure it's high too.
It's high.
Cold Steel, Guru featuring Bilal and Dilla Certified. I don't know if I can place that one.
I promise you, Running is gonna be top 10.
Let's just kind of go. Frank and Dank. He's got some Frank and Dank stuff on here. Dilla Diamonds. Show Me What You Got. Busta Rhymes. Show me what you got for me.
Yeah.
Baby is 39. That's kind of high in my opinion. Still, Come Get It featuring Elzai.
High or low? You mean you would put it up?
Put up
closer to number 1 or closer to 50?
Which one?
The one you
I don't remember what I said.
Oh, you said this.
Baby?
Yeah.
Oh, higher to 1.
Yeah.
Higher to 1.
Okay.
Higher to 1.
Yeah. Enjoy the Ride. Busta Rhymes. F the Police.
Wow.
Not even
How did I
mentioned.
forget
We didn't
that?
mention that,
we forgot that one.
Oh, the Come Close remix.
Come Close
wow.
remix. Yeah.
I didn't mention that.
They have E equals MC² is 33. I don't know. We might have to have a talk.
That's probably the list that Schwartz was looking at. The reason why I didn't put it on there.
You just gonna call him Schwartz.
House of Flying Daggers. Raekwon featuring the Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know if I've heard that.
I think Deck and Ghost is on that.
Climax.
Yeah, that's a top 20 track. Come on now.
You mentioned Climax, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that
just couldn't
must
remember
go.
the name.
I'm trying to see where they at with these last.
Won't do. Live It Up. Hold on. Let's get in here. Whip You with the Strap. The Ghostface joint.
Oh, that song is
My
so
man
cold.
Pete Sake hates that beat. He hates that beat.
They mentioned he mentioned
the strap
when I was bad.
doing it off of Like Water for
Oh,
Chocolate.
yeah. How did you
That was
forget that?
Hey, the drums on Let's Ride, bro.
Keith Murray, the
Keith.
rhyme. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Lyrics and Love Notes said nowadays.
Okay. I'm
Thelonious.
not mad at that. That's a good one.
Ooh, Reminisce off of Bilal's
that
album.
is dope.
That is an incredible
Reminisce. Slum Village, I don't know. Lucy Pearl, Without You.
Ooh,
That's, yeah.
That whole
JD
project is
remix.
fire, by the
Yeah,
way.
but the way and the thing is, I've never been able to find like a super clean. Probably there is none clean version of that.
Oh, I forgot about
Once again, Tribe.
Because Dilla sings on the
Vibrant
hook.
Thing.
He's like, without
'Cause he-
you.
He co-produced Vibrant Thing.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Which
go.
is big. Raise It Up.
See, there you go.
Now we getting into
Little Brother by Black Star. Little Brother.
Mm.
I know times are hard.
Dynamite. Oh,
Might pause, Jay-Z. That is a dope
I didn't know
beat.
he did Dynamite.
Get a hold.
Oh man, they got a nice
with,
list. This is a good list. I should have
nothing
used
against
this.
Schwartz's list. You know,
Stakes aside.
Sorry, Schwartz.
I just like the fact that we were actually, shouts to the author.
Yeah.
Authors.
I
are
mean,
important.
this was a hard doing a top 17 is hard. So
we
yeah.
appreciate the effort, Schwartz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. when you say it like that, it really
I
makes
ain't
it seem
trying-
like we coming
I ain't
after
clowning. I'm not clowning.
No, that's what it sounds
He
like.
took the
Hey,
time
let
out.
the swoosh be with you.
That's where I kind of was going with it.
D'Angelo
feel
like,
I forgot he did
feel
that.
like making love.
Wow.
Our side number 4.
Running. I told you to
Running.
be in top 10.
Number 3, Janet Jackson featuring Q-Tip. Got It Till It's Gone.
Man.
Wow. This is a good list.
Players number 2, which and The Light number 1, which we can argue, but works for you. Don't work for me.
It works for me.
I think
like
if you
the-
asked all,
It's a
we would
hit.
all put something different at number 1.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Because you've been out somewhere singing that hook when it come on for the light. With your
Definitely.
hands up in the air.
You talking about the white guy singing?
Oh God. You had to see. Can we Red August, can we go
Shout
to
to Bobby
partners?
Caldwell.
It
You
is
know,
straight up.
hope
I mean,
he's
he is
doing
white.
well. Hope he's doing well. I know he had
Red
a
August,
little
let's
health
shout out the
scare.
partners.
There's a
real quick, man.
time.
Stop. Please go to the partners. Please go to the partners.
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Printfinity is a screen printing shop based in Indianapolis, owned and operated by our own DJ Jay Diff. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member for as little as $3 a month. All details on newoldheads.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo.
We are
wanna
back
know
together.
how many people
We are
well,
together.
We are together.
just
We are
let
back
yourself
together.
know and do what you like. I'm sorry.
And more had a moment over there. It's cool. All right, man. Shout out to our partners as always. We appreciate them. Shout out to the chat too. The chat is lit. We really
It's lit.
love that y'all have been rocking with us. We appreciate it. I see y'all. Smooth, who's your lyrics and love notes. Gobo, we see you. Nate Jeezy, appreciate y'all. All right, let's go into this third topic. So I saw this. I'm gonna let Terry explain this one because you know me. I be getting my stories backwards sometimes. My heart's in the right place. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We were doing well. Don't do that.
He tries.
Hey man.
We just talk about giving people a chance. Keep trying.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna do better. But Yo Gotti, his $1 for $1. I don't know if y'all heard that record, but he's doing something real cool and giving people some dope opportunities. I thought this was extremely dope, and I hope people take advantage of it. But Terry, go ahead and explain the story with this, man, because this is a dope story.
All right, so Yo Gotti created this contest for this single $1 for $1 to where he left space for anybody to get on there and put a verse on there. And the whole plan was to release this on his upcoming album, which I believe dropped last Friday.
Yep.
And somebody was supposed to win that slot and be on the album. What ended up happening is somebody that was signed to CMG already got that slot. Now he's someone that everybody may not be familiar with, but if you do your research, you'll see, he's been signing in for since 2020 or 21 or something like that. But he's the one that actually featured. So there was a little uproar about that.
The fix was in.
Yeah, the fix was in. This was just to roll out the album, get people on it. All right, so fast forward to this. So he decided to go ahead and let people who recorded their verses on this song, $1 for $1, they're able to release this and pretty much make money off of it. So they can upload it on their iTunes, their Play Music, whatever format they use in order to get paid off the song that they created this verse for, which is actually a decent idea, I believe, because he's saying that he doesn't want anything off of it.
Yeah.
It's all going to the artist or whoever decided to put their verse on that open space on that song.
Right.
So it's a very creative idea in my personal opinion. And I think that other artists are possibly going to follow behind or follow suit as far as doing that too.
Yeah, this is this is unique to me because, you know, the contest isn't necessarily unique, but the idea of someone being able to, you know, put it on Apple Music, Spotify, and be like, yo, I got my joint with Gotti, check it out. And they can get the streams. And we know the stream revenue really ain't nothing, but even if they go to Bandcamp, I don't think he said anything about, you know, they couldn't use it. They can use it however they want to use it.
However you want to.
So
people put a lot of we're actually going to the studio and actually putting the sauce on here like it was actually their song too. So
I saw some videos of some of the people that were in the contest, and there were a couple young ladies that blacked out, and I saw a couple dudes that blacked out as well. I understand he had his artists that, you know, won the quote unquote contest, but from some of the videos that I saw, it might be some dope records floating around if these people get them mixed and mastered and, you know, do what they want to do. So I think I'm with Terry. I think this is a dope opportunity. Salute to Gotti for actually giving people an opportunity to basically, you know, rock with him and work with him. What you think, Lone?
I mean, I get it. I think it's cool to the extent of like, you know, I don't know, I'm trying not to come across as a hater.
Good luck with that.
I know. It's kind of my mantra.
we get a lot of those.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. You'll fit right in.
You'll fit right in.
I don't know. Like, does it really do anything for the artist though? I don't think so. I mean, you can sell it, but like me personally as an artist, like I don't want my song to be out here with Yo Gotti to have 900 different versions of it. You know, like,
What if your version stands out though?
Who cares? I'm going to hear, like, I'm not, as a consumer, I'm not going to go listen to your version of this song versus, like, if there's 900 other versions of it, I'm not going to go pick through the versions that I want.
I feel what you're saying. So I'll give you
Can they change the
plus side? The plus side. So, for example, say an artist from Indianapolis did this song and put their verse on there.
Sounds like what somebody from here would do.
There are a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. So imagine you go to the club and versus playing the Yo Gotti version with his CMG artist. They play the one featuring the Indianapolis artist. I mean, it's local love, so to speak.
Yeah,
unless you crossed over and people are really feeling your track. But I think it's pretty cool that he pretty much was like, here, you can have the song.
That part is okay.
And do what you want with it.
Yeah, I think that's okay. And I don't think, I mean, my initial thought was like, well, I wonder how they're going to do like, you know, how the streaming, a lot of like YouTube and different social platforms, like they have automatic, they can pick up the, man, why am my brain's dead on this? What's it called? The content ID, right?
Yeah.
I was like, well, who's going to get the content ID now? You know, but it's probably going to be Yo Gotti.
Yeah,
that's definitely going to be Yo Gotti.
I'm with Terry from a standpoint of it hitting different when it's your version. You know what I mean?
But I mean, but still at the same time, it's like it's standing in the club, somebody playing your song. Like, who cares? I don't know. But
I mean, we talked about that.
That's the who cares for this episode.
Yeah, there's one. You know, it's going to be one.
Start the tally.
Go ahead, Jay Moore. What you think, man? Since clearly, Lone doesn't care.
I'm trying. I just can't see it.
He can't find it. He can't find it.
He doesn't find it in his heart.
Look, I think it's a heck of an idea for a rollout. I mean,
I do too.
You know, because when's the last time we talked about Yo Gotti on this show?
That's
See, the thing too, the way he wins with this is because we lost Young Dolph.
Facts.
So when we talk about Young Dolph and Yo Gotti, were not the best of friends.
Right.
They were beefing, so to speak.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that.
So we're not talking about that. So I think he used, because people were actually putting dirt on his name too behind that whole, even though he didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
But they were beefing. So this gave him an opportunity to pretty much put himself back in the forefront, limelight, so to speak, and not muddy up his name.
Very positive.
I think it was good on his marketing team and him to do something like this in order to try to flip that energy.
Very well executed.
And plus, you know, what if, you know, he hears these verses, because, you know, Yo Gotti has if you love Yo Gotti's music, he has a roster, you know, of people that are
apparently
Moneybag
20 years
Yo
deep that nobody's heard of.
Moneybag Yo, and
he
Black
was
Youngster.
He was on Cash Money.
Not for real.
Yeah, but you know, like artists that he's put on, you know, are out here getting it.
That's true.
You know, so he has a nice roster, and he's he's probably using this as like, okay, this is the next person. I'm gonna see if they want to get down. Let's see see what else they have. This has almost been a way to scout however many people, decide to throw a verse on here. Say somebody picks out the top 10 for him, then he might have the next, he
might fall into a deal.
That person, it might be the next, unpolished jewel.
I could definitely hear somebody from that being signed to ESG.
100%.
And I don't want to say that I like hate the idea. I don't hate the idea. I think it's a unique idea. I just think from an artist perspective, from my personal take of this, like, this is not something that I would be excited to do.
I mean,
it's not really your style.
Yeah.
But I even if like 𝐀𝐿𝐲 was out there doing some stuff like this, like, I wouldn't be interested. The concept of putting a verse on something and like and doing this, like,
even if it was a contest and you had the opportunity to be the one featured on the album,
that's different, right?
Right. So that's how it started.
It started as a contest.
So now he's just like, you can do whatever you want with the song and make money.
Yeah,
if you
of course, because the content idea
like,
is going to give it back to Yo Gotti.
He's still going to eat.
He's going to get that at least.
But the artist can still make money from the streams if they upload it themselves through their page, right? So
he's still on the map.
But it's another conversation. I think
that's what he said.
I don't know how that works exactly.
That's what he said, but don't give me lying.
Yeah, I guess he's just giving away for free at that point. But I think it is smart. I don't want to come across like I think it's a horrible idea. It's just, I think I'm approaching this just from an artist angle of myself, and I'm just.
And me looking at it from marketing and promotion, I think it's a great idea. Like I said, this is a heck of a rollout. When
cool to get people engaged.
Yeah, because we talked about, I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago or maybe even last week. What is a rollout in 2022?
Yes,
this is a rollout
prime
in 2022.
Yeah. Your spin on the positive vibe is how you approach it. I think that's brilliant.
I think it's positive that he's giving people this opportunity.
And I think you too. I mean, you're a seasoned artist.
Right.
So if you think about somebody up and coming and is just reaching to grab anything and they see this is a gold mine to them. That's what they think.
Their approach is going to be way different.
Don't get it twisted. I've done stuff like this in the past. There was a competition I did in 2008 where it was like a whole bunch of beats. You pick one, you rap over it, and you have the potential to do. 𝗀𝗀 was in the I think he won it. Like 𝗀𝗀, I picked an evidence beat. It ended up being on my mixtape that I put out in 2008 or 9 or something. So
we've all been.
Brookins did that and won didn't he win with the Reading Rainbow remix he did?
That was before my time here, but that sounds familiar.
Okay. Jay Brookins, if you're watching, I need to hear that because I've never heard his flip for Reading Rainbow. I want to hear that.
I wish Brookins didn't retire from producing in 2009.
Man,
I ain't know he had heat. Clearly, I'm asleep.
He runs 𝗀𝗲𝗄 or something, right? Or
Brookins remixed the American Gangster album.
And that American Gangster album he remixed was cold.
Crazy.
Where have Jay Brookins been listening, man?
I need
Stop
to get
holding out, man.
I think it was 𝗀𝗲𝗄, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It's something.
I came in second.
I know that Reading Rainbow flip that he did was, if he didn't win, he was a top contender on winning.
Yeah, I remembered the story. I think it was like the Ohio version or something, and he got invited to it at least.
Shout out to the homie Project. That's what beat me. He passed away, but I came in second at 𝗀𝗀𝗄. I remember that night very clearly.
Mike was very upset.
I was very upset.
But Mike should have won, so I mean
that's why I was upset. But shout out to the homie Project who passed away. He got me that night, so it is what it is. Red August, I believe you were right about the what you described on the time, brother.
I can literally see it on the screen now. That's kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Like
literally. Okay.
Yeah, I think we got like 7 minutes or something.
The next topic I wanted to talk about, I think, is it'll go deep, like from a conversation standpoint. I mean, we can. Don't do that, Red August. I hate y'all.
We're gonna go deep.
Don't do that.
Right.
Come on, man. We on the radio. Stop.
So deep it'll put you to sleep.
Shout out to Ice Cube for performing at a NASCAR event this week.
100%. Give him yes. Clap for that man. 100%.
I was like, so does that mean he's not going to be a surprise
guest? Did he just do today was a good day over and over?
It don't matter.
Wow.
It don't matter.
You know what I'm tired of seeing? Let me get this off.
No, he did.
Throw your neighborhood in the
he
did that.
He can do
at a NASCAR race at the Coliseum.
Straight out of Compton. I don't care.
Let me do some self-inflicted hate.
Oh man,
I hate
Ice Cube,
white women that do.
Just stop there. No,
be careful. This can go a couple ways.
That are obviously my age that like to go on TikTok and just redo 90s classics and just, oh my God.
And mess them up?
It's so cringe. I don't know. It's
There's a lot of that going on TikTok.
oh my God.
Oh, what?
Like
On
there'll
the
be like two
TikTok.
white women. They'll be like rapping "Today Was a Good Day" or some.
They'll be
Snoop
doing
Dogg
what? They
song.
doing that?
Yes.
That'd be the ones that walk around with the shirt that says
And they know no other songs.
something about being a gangster and something else.
I don't know about
Look,
that, but
I don't care if he did. We'd be clubbing. It was at a NASCAR.
Look,
event.
all that. This is the thing, and it's kind of a running joke. But like when at the beginning of the night, when say there are some white people my age, and they're getting out for the first time in a while, and they might stumble into the Casbah, and I'll be like,
Stumble in.
in, you know.
we all know who we're talking
And
about.
you know, they haven't been out in a while. They got a babysitter. They might have just had, and
It's an after work function.
Yeah,
They went out to dinner.
It's
and
a running
got
joke.
faded.
I mean, between me and anybody, but brother to the night, I say, hey, play the next episode.
Oh, is
That's
that the
one of
one?
them.
I'll play
That's one.
regulate.
Oh my God.
Regulate.
Like there are certain.
Next
That's
episode.
why this
Or
Super
Push
Bowl
It.
halftime
Yeah,
is
play
going
Push
to
It.
be epic.
Nothing but
Push
a G
it.
thing.
Play Push It.
They
Like
are,
all those classic
there are-
gangster rap ones from the 90s.
There are certain songs.
They ring off. Huh?
Return of the Mac.
Oh yeah.
This
That
is
rings
how
off
we do
everywhere.
it.
I was gonna say this is how we do it, Montel Jordan. I know
Oh
that's
my
gonna go.
goodness! If
Yeah.
it's
Play a Coolio record, see what happens.
Oh my God.
You
look,
gotta get your groove on.
You know
there
what? I
was
don't
a-
have any Coolio on Maserati.
paid.
there was a time where like, and this is what kind of hurt his career. With like, I didn't understand why white folks like Coolio so much. It was around 95.
Yeah.
And it was just all of a sudden, like there are people I know. It's like, oh man, I really love Coolio. I was like,
Gangster's Paradise, man.
Yo, is
why?
it
Yeah.
bad? Let me
I
ask you
saw
this.
it. I saw it in the drive-in when I was in like 6th grade.
Let me
or
ask you
What movie
this.
was that?
No, it was
Criminal.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer's the teacher.
The teacher that goes in and helps
Yeah.
all the colored children.
Oh, the colored kids.
Hey yo, I know we gotta get out of here.
Another white savior movie.
Is
There's
this
a whole-
bad that the only thing I can remember from the Gangsta's Paradise video is my boy that's singing on the hook and how
LV.
he's sweating? Is that bad?
I still
promise that's the
remember
only
when
thing I
they
can think
performed it at the MTV Awards when he had on that choir robe sweating.
Yeah.
I for some
Dangerous
reason
Minds.
it's a
Dangerous
shot.
Minds.
Minds,
Dangerous
It's a
Minds.
shot
Thank
that
you.
they have of him, and he's sweating so hard singing that hook.
Like
man.
he's
That's the only
sweating
thing I
in
can
the
think of.
video. Like he's just like this. It's the intensity on his
Yeah.
face singing.
That's
Yeah.
bad because that's
I wonder
the
how
only
much
thing
they
I
had
can
to
remember.
pay Stevie for that. Did he clear that?
Oh no, Stevie liked the song. There was no cussing in the song. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
That's right.
Stevie and he came out and performed that with him on the Arsenio
He sure
Hall show.
did. He
They
sure
said
did.
Stevie is the one that you might as well not even try unless the record is exactly how he wants it or is to his quality.
No,
Well,
because
he ain't gonna clear the sample.
the original version of Me and My B from Ready to Die.
Ready to die.
Basic, like there is a like, you know, if you got the original Big Mac promo tape from Bad Boy, it has that version on there with
Yeah.
with it's a Minnie Riperton song. I can't remember, but Stevie Wonder wrote it and produced it. But because of all the cussing,
he
Stevie was
said,
like,
"Oh, no,
absolutely not. So
Well, he's on
Don't
Travis Scott's album.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
It's on
Stevie
that
was on
Busta Rhymes joint too.
he
Yeah.
was on Busta Rhymes.
Which
I
was
mean,
dope.
to me, if you can get Stevie to mess with you,
He did
Do
some
it.
harmonica on some stuff too.
Oh yeah,
he was on
you don't hear harmonica.
Cordae's
that often.
album.
Not very often. Yeah, he
Was
was.
Stevie on
He was on
Cordae's album?
Cordae's.
Was he?
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet.
That's a good album.
Yeah,
It is.
Moonchild's a good album too.
Shout out
The
to
EP.
Moonchild. That's the.
You know
fan
what's
right there.
crazy? I was thinking about Moonchild today. They do not have a song that's bad.
they're like Mayor Hawthorne.
There's not
Mm.
one song in their catalog that's bad.
yeah, you were just like, yeah, that's okay. No,
Yeah,
You know
Moonchild.
what?
Oh, every one of them is jamming.
I'm going to co-sign that. I can't think of one.
Yeah,
We followed them obviously, and got a
interviewed
chance to
him
interview them.
3 times.
Yeah, they are.
Or twice.
They. I don't think they have anything where I'm just like, okay, yes. Everything they put out jams to me.
That Nick Grant
Voyager
album
was
go
cold.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Did you see what I was talking about?
Yeah, the Outcast kind of. Well, I mean, he uses that break in there. So
Did you guys
It's funky,
like?
too.
Did you guys like the Pusha T Diet Coke single?
yeah, I like
Oh,
it.
I
yeah.
like it.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And that
Jimbo,
is
what
a 19-year-old beat.
I told
from
Terry.
88 Keys.
I told Terry. I just said. I was like, before we came on, I was like, yo, man, that sounds like an old 88 Keys beat. Then he tells me it's literally 18, 19 years.
It sounds
I said
It
it
still
was,
sounds good though.
sounds good, but
But that goes to the point. If you make good beats, music,
yeah.
Timeless.
it lasts the test of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it stands the test of time.
But
The only thing I was going to say is why Kanye have to put his name on it.
because that's what Kanye West
Well,
does.
he
Co-produced by Kanye.
he wasn't
West.
gonna
Did he
let-
put a co-producer?
It's a
on there?
loop.
I thought he was just featured on that.
It's a 4-bar
I mean, on
loop.
the track.
It might be a 2-bar loop. It's a 4-bar loop.
You know Kanye
didn't do nothing.
he ain't do nothing. You know he wasn't gonna let that ride though. You know that. He
Just sit in the back with that. Did you guys see the video of the snippet where there was like it was like Pusha T was kind of rapping it, and there was like people in the background. There's people on the couch,
Yeah.
and there was a weird looking white person.
Yes, yes, I saw that. I was like, who
It was
is
a
that?
what? It was a what, Long?
Were they ghoulish looking?
Yes.
See, that was a picture. Remember, I was trying to show y'all that picture like 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this ghoulish person
Yeah.
that Pusha T is hanging out with?
Is that,
is that?
it was the ghoul? The
know. I
ghoul.
thought- I
Hold
zoomed
up,
in.
The ghoul is in the snippet.
I thought maybe it was Kanye with the mask on, but I don't.
Nah.
Like it was
The
Teddy
ghoul-
Perkins or something.
Teddy Perkins was
The ghoul that
was
he-
an awesome episode.
The ghoul that he pointed out was scary than a mug. Is
She
this the
like-
same
It
ghoul?
looked like the Crypt Keeper,
It was interesting person.
Hey yo, if y'all know who the ghoul,
Yeah.
if
to
y'all
say
know,
the least.
He looked
if
like
y'all
that.
know who the ghoul is in this video, man, let us
He
know,
looked like
man.
that one character from Street Fighter 3 that would hang upside down before he fought you. Like that's
Street
that's
Fighter-
a deep video game reference because Street Fighter 3 wasn't
Yeah, I
popular
don't think
like
so.
that.
Yeah, did Street Fighter 3 hit? I don't think it hit like that. 2 did.
No, it
hung
didn't. It
upside
didn't
down.
slap like 2 and 4 did.
It wasn't Vega, was it?
You know what
No.
was fire though?
slapping the bass.
Which one?
Soul Calibur.
Oh, like I remember,
stop, Lon.
I got a. I remember I bought a Dreamcast the day it came out with Soul Calibur, and from Funko Land, R.I.P. Funko Land. Some of y'all know about it. Yeah, got
All
Soul
right,
Calibur
man.
with it.
Yeah, that mug was cold.
I think it's about time, man.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Okay.
We can say
Just
this.
say
I think this is a good
goodbye.
one. We can say this one for next week.
To all our company.
We appreciate y'all as always. Shout out to the chat. Thank you for your support. Stick around for the post show. And as always, www.newoldheads.com.
Or no WWs.
Stop, man. It's all
WWW.
education.
Welcome to 2022.
Nobody says that even. That's kind of
Not
like
since
saying
2000.
HTTPS semicolon.
Nobody says WWW since like the 2000s.
www.
We'll see y'all next week. Peace.